I feel like the only reason people even know about this movie is because of that one Family Guy bit.
Well, guess there's nothing left to do but watch the end of Last Holiday. Oh, no, she didn't.
Oh, yes, she did.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did, Peter. I just saw it.
All right, take it easy.
Every year, the Hallmark Channel rises from their yearly slumber to deliver us the new slate of Christmas movies that are pretty much all the same. It's become a meme at this point, and now there are movies that parody their formula.
Porter Holly Frost is finally going home for Christmas. And a special someone from her past.
It's Satan. Happy holidays.
To those who are unfamiliar, a typical Hallmark Christmas movie goes like this. There's a woman who works in a big city and she works too much and she doesn't like Christmas and she ends up in a small town for some reason or another, and this town is just crazy for Christmas. They always go all out. The businesswoman ends up meeting a man and they fall in love, and she decides to stay in the small Christmas town and doesn't work so hard anymore, and she now has an easygoing job at a family bakery or something like that. Hallmark movies are popular and other networks have seen the success that they have had and jumped on the wave to produce similar content. Lifetime Movies, TV One, and Netflix, just to name a few. But Hallmark has them all beat by morphing into a festive factory and pushing out their movies early. I'm talking about the tail end of October, and honestly, how dare you? That is spooky season. Take your mistletoe and get out.
Bye, pumpkin. Bye, pumpkin.
Now I've watched a few of these TV movies and I can see why people like them. They're simple, predictable, and comforting. You know exactly what you're in for. I get that. We all have those cheesy winter holiday specials and movies that we all love to watch every year, that maybe some other people don't understand why. And mine is Last Holiday. Last Holiday stars Queen Latifah and LL Cool J, both of whom were rappers turned actors to have their own TV sitcom in the 90s. This is a remake of a 1950 British dark comedy. I've never watched the old one, but I read the summary and wow, a world of difference. The remake was penned by writing duo Jeffrey Price and Peter Seaman, who are best known for writing the screenplay for Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They had originally intended for the film to star John Candy, with Carl Reiner directing, but after Candy's death in 1994, the script was shelved. Cut to the early 2000s, Queen Latifah's agent got a hold of the script and asked for it to be revised for her. Georgia Bird is a smart, shy, and unassuming woman that has always made smart and sensible choices. And as a result, she has lived a very reserved and unfulfilling and boring life. She keeps all her hopes and dreams in a scrapbook labeled Possibilities. She works as a professional cook in a department store and has a crush on her handsome co-worker, Sean Williams, played by LL Cool J. After a failed attempt at flirting with him, she hits her head and is rushed to a hospital and receives a CAT scan. The doctors find multiple tumors in her brain, and without surgery, she only has a few weeks to live. Since her health insurance won't cover the cost of operation, she goes through the 5 stages of grief. Once Georgia accepts her fate, she stands up to her boss, quits her job,
That's a $400 phone.
and empties out her bank account and books a holiday of her dreams at the exclusive Grand Hotel Poop.
Come on, y'all really say it like that? Poop. Poop. Poop.
In the Czech Republic. While Georgia is there, she lives life to the fullest. She stays in the presidential suite, has a montage trying on some mid-2000s fashion, orders everything from the special menu, and befriends the world-renowned chef Didier, whose work she has admired. Her new attitude and larger-than-life personality captivates many of the guests and staff. She's not afraid to tell these stuck-up rich people about themselves either.
Hey, I don't like the way you're talking to that woman.
I'm sorry if I disturbed you, Ms. Bird. She was hurting me, though.
I don't care. You don't talk to working people that way. Now, it's plain to see what the problem is here. You got tension in your neck because you keep going down on Mr. Cragen, and he's a married man. At least this poor lady trying to work it out of here. Don't take it out on Brigitte.
Thank you.
She's a mystery to everyone, as they all believe that she's a super mega rich person like all of them. Except for this one jealous hater over here, Cragen, who owns the department store that she used to work at. He's jealous and constantly tries to compete with her, only to embarrass himself all the time. Back in New Orleans, Sean is looking for Georgia and learns from Dr. Gupta of her illness and gets on a plane to go and be with her in her final days. More things happened, and a staff member and Chef Didier learn about Georgia's sickness, and they promise to be by her side until the end and enjoy the little time they have left cooking. And together they prepare the food for the big New Year's party. The friendship that develops between these two is just really sweet to me. The way how they bonded over food and life. Anyways, Cragen, who now knows about Georgia, exposes her as being just a sales associate and demands that she explain herself. So she does and reveals that she is dying, and everyone rightfully turns on Cragen. More things happen, and Sean arrives at the hotel and declares his love for Georgia. They all received the good news from Dr. Gupta that the machine was faulty, as it was a cheap hand-me-down that Cragen got to look fancy, but, of course it was faulty. So yes, Georgia's going to live. Cut to 6 months or a year later, Georgia and Sean are together, and she has opened up her own restaurant back in her hometown. There's a big opening for it too. All the rich people she met at the hotel are there, no doubt, and even her favorite TV chef, Emeril Lagasse, is there. The film ends with an epilogue of the Book of Possibilities, now renamed Realities, and we see everyone's well-deserved happy ending. It's all sweet and nice, and I love this movie so much. This movie came out back in January 2006, and it had a strong opening weekend, but it failed to make back its budget. The reviews were mixed among audience and critics alike. The general consensus was that Queen Latifah was absolutely amazing, and Wayne Wang's directing was competent, and to not expect the levels of Joy Luck Club with this one, and that the whole production was probably better suited for a TV movie.
Maybe stop.
But yeah, I'm glad it wasn't, because I doubt it would have gotten the budget that it deserved for them to shoot on location at the Hotel Poop with special guest star performance from Smokey Robinson. This was also the 4th film where Queen Latifah was the lead since being nominated for her role in Chicago back in 2002. The other 3 films were Bringing Down the House, Taxi, and Beauty Shop. The character of Georgia Bird was a major departure from many of these characters, most of whom were boisterous, confident, and overtly comedic. But yeah, she does have the range to play those quiet and subtle moments, just as great as she plays the big comedic moments. The introduction of Georgia going about her day, being normal and almost blending into the background, going through the motions, and how she finally relaxes when she's at home and is doing what she loves, which is cooking, and that's where we see her the most happy, before going to Europe, of course. There's a moment where on TV, Emeril adds a lot of wine to the recipe, and Georgia is reluctant to do the same, and then at the end, when she has her own restaurant, she's pouring in just as much wine. Everyone is right, Queen Latifah makes this movie work. It was rewritten for her, and it shows. Many of the roles that Queen Latifah has chosen in her career are not what you would normally see of a plus-size black woman, especially in a starring role. Her size is never the focal point. I remember when this was brought up on Twitter and Tumblr before, and the responses were, she's not fat, she's not plus size, she's beautiful. As if those things are all mutually exclusive. This movie has such a focus on food. Pre-diagnosis Georgia has the most fun preparing the meals and taking the pictures of it for her scrapbook, but she doesn't indulge in it. She eats her lean cuisine, and there's a blink and you miss it line that she's on a diet, but like in the way how most average everyday women are always on a diet.
I feel fine. I feel great. I just finished a fat flush and...
No.
The makeover that she needed wasn't really physical, it was internal. I mean, yeah, she gets new clothes and new hair, but she didn't need all of that to be seen as attractive by her love interest, as he was already interested in her, and had asked her out already. But we do get the big reveal in the red dress, because you can't have a shopping montage without the big reveal, and reaction to it.
Oh, hello, sister.
This is labelled as a rom-com, and I guess technically it is. Chick flick would probably be more suitable, but whatever. The love story that's between Georgia and Sean gets pushed aside once she skips town. But if I'm being honest, Queen Latifah and LL Cool J don't really have that much romantic chemistry with each other, so yeah. If we were to compare this romance to Just Right or any of the ones from Living Single, this one's kinda dry. I watched this movie with a friend a few years ago that had never watched it before, and they thought that Georgia would end up with Senator Dillings, played by Giancarlo Esposito, since they had more scenes together and there was more of a vibe there between them. Anyways, the true love story here is Georgia loving herself and learning to love life and live it to the fullest. One of my favourite scenes in the whole movie is when she's about to attend the New Year's party and she thinks that this is one of her final nights left alive.
Next time, we do things different. We will laugh more. We'll love more. We'll see the world. We just won't be so afraid.
Look at you.
This movie is less Christmas orientated than you would expect. Despite taking place during the winter season, Christmas is never mentioned. I mean, it's there obviously, but it's in the background. There's no Christmas music playing in the background of the department store, which is honestly so unrealistic. And even in the two scenes taking place at the church, we don't get any mention of Christmas either. Nobody sings a carol, nobody even sings This Christmas by Donny Hathaway either. There are some decorations in many locations, the church, the department store, the hotel, and we even see Georgia's sister decorating a tree. But I can't point to a day and be like, yeah, that's the hotel Christmas party. This is more of a New Year's movie. The hotel is having a big New Year's celebration, and they even have a countdown. And like Instagram says, New Year means new you. New beginnings, change, rebirth, resolutions that you hope to keep, and that's the whole theme of this movie. I just find it funny. You would think a film like this would be all about Christmas magic. Georgia is religious and talks to God throughout, and get no mention of the Jesus Day. I don't know why, but I really like that. I want to say it's because it gives me a break from all the true meaning of Christmas magic types of films and TV specials, making it great to watch between Boxing Day and New Year's Eve, and even after New Year's. That's probably why it came out in January. In his review for Last Holiday, Roger Ebert wrote, "On occasion, we must be open to movies that have more modest ambitions. They only want to amuse us, warm us, and make us feel good. Last Holiday plays like a hug." I couldn't agree more. This movie is like a warm hug, and I think that's why I go back to it every year. It just makes me feel good and upbeat, uplifted, and it sets up how I want the new year to be. Also, I can't help but relate to Georgia in a few ways. Not the making a nice food for someone else and never eating it for myself. Later, who is doing that? But the timidness and playing it safe most of the time and learning how to slowly come out of my shell. Yeah, that's me. Watching this movie in 2020 really hit differently for a variety of reasons. So if it's been a while since you've watched it, maybe it's worth revisiting or even watching for the first time. I may also have a not so secret agenda for this movie to have a resurgence and for popular YouTubers to film some of the recipes from it. They used to have all the recipes on the Food Network website since some Food Network chef prepared all the food for the movie, but those web pages are gone. So let me just go over to Babish real quick. Yeah, so like I said, watch this movie and watch Jingle Jangle: A Christmas Journey. That's going to be a new annual classic for me too. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed this year and to the old ones that have stuck around for some reason. I go on these year-long hiatus and I remove videos, and when I come back and post something new, I see familiar faces comment, and I'm surprised you guys are still here, but I appreciate it though. Yeah, let's enjoy these last few days of this demonic year, and unless dragons actually do show up on the 31st when the moon cracks, I'll see you next year. Bye!